Make or break moment for Bitcoin. So here is what's happening on the show on Friday on the daily update. I actually drafted this and I said that we need to come back to the 50% about for 76,500 on that level. And once we come back, I do believe that we can make a new high because that would be the 4-hour high. But then yesterday, I also told you in the community that I'm taking a Bitcoin short at 77,920 and stop loss at 79,500, which is basically the high up here. Reason being, I also detailed that. Reason being is that Iran stopped all negotiations with the US. 4-hour stage bullet retraces 76,500 is due. So that was my reasons for taking the short position, and the market on the CME Open started rallying just by a tiny bit. I didn't get stopped, which is I actually posted this in here. Just by a tiny bit, didn't get stopped. But I do believe that now it is a break or make moment for Bitcoin, whether we can have or whether this can be the beginning of the major pullback that is eventually going to take all this liquidity here. I do believe that is coming. The question is it coming now or not? If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗬𝗢𝗢𝗏. I do these updates every single day here on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. If you're not subscribed, which is 22% of you are not, please push the subscribe button. I promise you're not going to regret it. Turn the bell notifications on. I really want to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of April, which is 3 days. Please subscribe now. We want to do that. So that said, let's jump in. I do this every day. So a couple of things to talk about here. Number one is my thesis. This might be a little bit confusing, especially if you're new around here, but I do these updates every single day. So if you are, you're confused or whatever, just come back and I promise you it will make sense eventually. But I've been explaining for a long time now that I believe we need to have, even this draft here says that we need to have a retrace down to the 50% and then potentially can push higher to hit this 50% level on the daily and the weekly chart on the total market cap, which is up here at 2.67 trillion. Why? Because what happens is that we usually get these 50% retraces. So if you look at this lag, 50% retrace. If you look at this lag, 50% retrace. If you look at this lag, 50% retrace, come back here, 50% retrace, come back here. So we always have these 50% retraces before we go lower. And I do believe that this is not an else but another 50% retrace. Now on the 4-hour chart, that does look quite good. So all I need is there is a higher high formed here. You can go into the top here. You see there is a close above there. That means that this down here is a very important level. And if you come down and you actually we mark this as the main order block, you see that this is below, again, the 50%, so it's actually quite simple. I just pulled the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top here, and that marks the 50% level here. That's why I'm expecting the total market cap to come down here, potentially happening today. And if the 4-hour, which is down here, this level down here, 2.47, can hold, and we see a market structure shift, as I drafted here as well on Friday, I do believe that we can have one more push up, and that is something that we want to long. Until that though, or if it breaks below there, I do believe that we are going sub 60,000, and that is what I really am aiming for. I mean, squeezing this last bit is also exciting, squeezing the last, $3,000, $4,000 all the way up here to like 82,000. But what I'm more excited about is that this built up liquidity is going to get taken. We're coming back to a major order block, rejecting from a major daily order block. If you look at the daily chart here, you see that this level here is basically actually the body of this candle, more likely, is the actual order block, the last bearish or bullish candle before a massive impulsive move. Now, from this candle, there was a 23% move on Bitcoin. So this is a very, very strong supply zone, and you immediately see some kind of stalling here. One, you had a rejection here coming, a little bit of retrace, then you had another rejection coming, and then you have another rejection coming. So it's 3 rejections at the same time. If we can break below 74,000, I mean, that is GG for good. Sub 60,000 in my opinion. We're going all the way down here, and it can happen. I actually tweeted about this. It can happen because of a ground invasion, which I do believe can happen in the next 2 weeks, if not this week. So ultimately, here is what I'm looking at. I do believe that we need to see a retrace. So even if this short is not is not going to start printing down to sub 60, I do believe, let me just delete all this here because I drafted this on Friday and I just left it on there because I'd like to show you what happens. But ultimately, I'm expecting this to come back down here to 76,000. That's at least 76,000. Down here, 76,500 because of the 4 hour, the nature of the 4 hours. So I do believe that that is going to happen. And once that happens, I'm looking for a market structure shift to take a long position. Now, if the market breaks below down here, actually 74,800 or 73,700, that is for me a very, very strong indication that we are going much, much, much lower. And then this could be the beginning of the major rejection, a V shape, a reverse V shape, right? So it would be a liquidation right into the daily order block, and then a rejection potentially going to come back up here, and then a continuation down, taking all the liquidity. So again, TLDR, I'm looking at the total market cap. I do believe that we have, I don't believe we did come back to a major rejection zone. We did not touch onto the 50% level, so we can also see just a flush here and then potentially a last push and then a last push down. But ultimately, we came back into a major rejection zone. I do expect a retrace happening here. We had 1, 2, 3 rejections already in this order block, so the likelihood of this happening, a rejection happening, is very, very high. I do believe that we're going to come a little bit lower. If we see a market structure shift above 2.47 trillion, I am going to take a long position targeting this up here, which is the which is up here at like 2.67 trillion, which is the daily 50% lag, daily equilibrium. And the same thing goes for Bitcoin. I am in a short position. I'm targeting at least 76,500. That's at least, and then we'll see what it gives us. I'm going to monitor the market structure. I'm just going to update you on everything that happens in the community. This is why the community is awesome. It's free. It's basically a Telegram channel where I post when I can't come here. So that's what I'm looking for. I do have the position in here. So I am riding this down. I'm expecting this to go, much deeper, and then we'll just take it as it comes. Guys, much love. There's nothing to do. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. I fixated in my mind. I really, really, really want to get to 40,000 subscribers in April. It's 3 days. I know we can do it. Invite your friend, invite your mom, invite your neighbor, invite your cat, invite your whatever. Let's do it together. Let's get together. Join in the community, link in the description. I'll see you tomorrow as every single day. Take care, guys. Much love.